So basically, I have 2 deck ideas. One of which is literally just cheat out things onto the field using effects that say, hey, you get to play this card for free. Flip the top card of your deck, play it for free. I don't know if I have the ratios right in terms of like high cost cards. The point is to get as many heroes out and then get Leah Venegas out, which says, once she's out, if you have 5 heroes, every attack you do gets plus 10 damage.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah. The other one's a mid-range safer deck that has a bunch of really expensive Darkest cards.
Okay.
So that's what I'm shooting for.
Alright.
This one's the difficult one. This one's the other one. This is faulty, so you're not going to use it because literally it just pops open no problem, and it actually is worse than having a Bakugan that doesn't open easy. Okay. So you're just gonna.
I assume the reason for that being because you roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So I don't know. Use this as a replacement. The one you hate the most. It is. Do you remember how to close it? Okay, I'll close it every single time for you.
Scares me.
My Leah Venegas deck sucks. Okay, it doesn't suck. It's just...
it works well, but it works well when your opponent does nothing to make you lose the game. When your opponent deals no damage to you, and you're allowed to draw all the cards you want.
Yeah, I need Search in that deck, and most importantly... when it works too good to where I deck myself out too fast.
Yes.
And I'm very upset.
Yes. But, yeah, when your win condition comes down, you win the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
The only
barring...
You know what? I'm even too scared to use the deck just because there's one card, Cinder Coil, that... He like literally, when we were playtesting, I let him roll my Bakugan like one time. I was losing literally every single game. The one time I let him roll my Bakugan, we won. So
it's all mine.
It's all. He's the true master.
Because of me.
Mm-hmm. So there's one card, Cinder Coil. There's a Pyrus card that literally says just destroy all heroes. If anyone has that card, my deck is ruined. Like, the setup is gone, I can't play it.
See, what you need to do is you just need to take inspiration from every other card game and just get the play out of your graveyard, or whatever the equivalent would be.
Is there a card like that in the game? I don't think there's a card like that yet.
The day that they do print it is downhill from there, but...
Really? Oh, you know, I guess that's true. Because, like, then you're adding a whole new level of... Then you're going down the same path of... Yeah. Anyway. So far, Krikelios deck is what I'm going to use. Mm-hmm. No, it's not a really creative name. I felt like Overwatch 2 wasn't really... I mean... no, it's probably the smartest option.
It is the smartest option, because then you risk, like, your fans not immediately understanding you.
Yeah. So, tomorrow, I helped Billiam build his deck. Thank you!
Here's some ketchup. Do you need any other dip sauce?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty.
I help Billiam build his deck tomorrow.
Oh.
Billiam, do you know about the small circle of other YouTubers that I am associated with? Billiam's basically the biggest one I'm associated with. It's because we actually, like, talk to each other regularly, and I helped him build his deck before MomoCon that one time. So, I have no idea if I'm even in frame. I am in frame. Wow, that's a terrible shot of me.
Let me just find my, oh my god, I thought I had all of my actual Bakugan, like, cards put aside. But they're shuffled in here. Oh my god, how did this happen? Here I was thinking I was organized. Yeah, I think Hyper Dragonoid. Hyper Dragonoid is a separate card entirely, right?
I'm searching it up right now so that I can actually know what you're talking about. There is, quite a few Hyper Dragonoids. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, are there?
You talking about the one-drop Hyper Dragonoid that's a Pyrus?
Yeah, it's a Pyrus Hyper Dragonoid. Hold on, give me 2 seconds to try to find this card. What am I thinking of? What is the one that's a separate Bakugan entirely?
Dragonoid Ultra, Hyper Dragonoid Ultra, I think. Because if we're talking... Okay, so... Here's my problem. I'm also building a deck that I feel is going to be super powerful.
And in order to properly help you, I need to tell you about very powerful cards, that of which I am using, and I don't want to do that. So...
Oh, but I'm not gonna win.
Well, that's the thing.
You know.
You could possibly win, because if I help you build a deck, I'm going to make it to where you have a chance. So, of course, there's a chance you can win.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm not like... I'm not planning on winning. I just want to try not to make an embarrassment of myself.
Okay.
Because even with this, when I built stuff based on what I owned, like it's very wave one heavily focused, and I want to get away from that a little bit.
Ooh! My Darkest Scorporos. Cool. Haha. Nice. Okay, how convenient. So, I just got done working out my deck that I may be using for the tournament. I don't know, like, the issue is I don't know 100% if it's going to be constructed or if they're going to be like, hey, here's all the new cards, here's some new Bakugan, build a deck. Like last time. Well, last time it made sense because we didn't have any cards. But it would be smarter for them to just be like, hey, here's everything you need, build it on the spot. That way it's more balanced that way, and in case somebody doesn't have a deck, then that's the safest bet. But just in case it is constructed, I am using a Chaos, Darkus, and Pyrus deck. I'm using Fangzor Ultra. It doesn't have any abilities, 404, it's slightly above curve. The reason is because it has 2 DNA hexes. Howlcore Ultra, also because it has 2 DNA hexes, but it also has the, +4 damage if it lands on a DNA hex. 300 B power, 4 damage. Garganoid Ultra, my boy right here, 305. He's not actually that good, but dang, his evolution is amazing. Maximus Garganoid Ultra is an 8-drop, 1000 B power, 10 damage. You may re-roll this once you turn. You miss a roll with it, but the best part is you can play this from your discard pile as though it were in your hand. And that's very important because the entire point of this deck is cheating things out with cheap cards, which is why, it's an 8-cost card. It's very expensive. Titan Howlcore Ultra, just because I needed like 2 win conditions. There's 2 win conditions. There is I'm just gonna skip the dramatic reveal. There's Leah Venegas where I just get 10 damage. The point of this deck is just to spam hero cards. Get Leah Venegas out and then smoke them. If that doesn't work, because sometimes it doesn't, then I have some beatdown methods right here with the evolutions. And then Hyper Fangzor Ultra, because it's a 3-drop and it's super easy to throw out. Especially with Super Fuel, where it says the next card you play costs 3 less, so I can just cheat this out if, my opening hand is just like, oh yeah, no, you got Fangzor Ultra, too bad. For the flip cards, 2 luck auras. You play a card from your hand for free, costs 4. It's really just another way to cheat out Leah Venegas, or Garganoid Ultra, because it says you can play it from your hand, and this is treated as if it's in your hand, so that's a thing. I have Dazzle, and that's why all of these have DNA hexes, except for Garganoid. There's like a 2/3 chance that my opponent will be on a DNA hex. Okay, not actually, because there's a good chance from my pool that they'll land on a DNA hex. And then there's Trick Trap, which is just play a hero card that costs 3 or less, which is also good because the hero cards, you have Shargo Ronin, because he's a 1-drop, 3 of him, 3 Shargo Ronins. Sometimes he helps, he's actually not that bad. For a 1-drop in your hand, it's great. Strata is like the best, and I don't have any more Strata, and at this point I can't order anymore because it's like 1 week away from the actual event. But your hero cards cost 2 less to play, fantastic. So effectively, Shargo Ronin becomes free. 3 Dan Kuzos, because it's literally just a 4-drop or 2-drop with Strata. And it says, when you play a Bakugan, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a flip card, you can play it for free, which is another way to cheat out Leah Venegas or Garganoid Ultra. It's just, Dan Kuzo's like so good. 3 Leah Venegases, which is just when you play this card, search your deck for a hero, then shuffle your deck. And plus 10 to your attacks if you control 5 or more hero cards in play, which is not hard to pull off in this deck. I mean, just look, there's so many hero cards. Especially since I have 3 Shogo Ronins, that's going to be like the easiest thing in the world. And there's also Bill Kuzo just for draw power. When an opponent plays a flip card, draw a card. There's not a lot of stop cards. I only have the Dazzles for stopping damage, and I did that intentionally because the point is to just speed up the process of this deck as much as possible. Then for support cards, the action cards, we have 3 Air Zeros. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a flip card, you can play it for free. It's basically Dan Kuzo, but cheaper, and an action card. 2 Super Fuels. I probably should have 3, but I don't have 3. You must re-roll your Bakugan, which is fine if you miss a roll. I just basically use this for missing rolls. If you open on the re-roll, the next card you play costs 3 less to play. Yes. Quick Fire, it's a 0-cost card. It's just for re-roll. It's you make an attack, but it's for re-rolling my Bakugan in case I miss. 3 Flame Waves, because I need more B-Power support, because this is very damage-intensive. Some energy draws because it's also more B-Power and I need more B-Power support, and Chaotic Darkness as the final one just to screw up my opponent and try to stop them. So that's my deck. You know, I'm hoping this works well. I'm hoping that it actually, you know, does something for me. I kind of hope it's constructed because I put a lot of effort into this deck. And I don't know, and like it's fast and sometimes it's too fast. Because sometimes I will use up all my resources in my hand and get to a point to where I just can't do anything, but I'm super ahead of my opponent, and I'm just giving my opponent time to do stuff. So it's not really the best deck, but I like it just because it's fun. Okay, and that's what I got.